Hi Leo, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is your collective self-reflection reading. Now, as always, it is a collective, so not everything will resonate. Please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you don't find any messages in this for yourself, then please check your other placements and you're likely to find a message in there. I apologise for not loading up anything last week. I did have a bereavement in my family, so I didn't really feel like recording anything. So again, apologies for not posting anything last week. Right, if you do like your message today, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me and you haven't subscribed already, if you press that subscription button and you press the notification bell, it will let you know whenever I do post new content. Okay, so the cards are already trying to talk for you. Let's get some more and start your reading. Okay, so your overall energy then we have is the Lovers. So you are potentially conflicted on whether or not you've made the right choice. You could be feeling like you've made a bad choice. You may have made a wrong choice potentially. You could be in conflict with somebody that you feel is your counterpart. You could have fallen out. You could be in separation. But this to me is very much suggesting more about yourself. So you feel like you've potentially made a wrong choice. That's your overall energy. We've got the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse as well. So you potentially feel like you've lost out on something that would have been really good because of a potential choice that you have made. Now in your overall energy, not in your overall energy, in what's keeping you stuck in this energy, we've got the Five of Swords. So you've got a lot of mental conflict going on at the moment. You are trying to walk away from that mental conflict, but you do feel quite defeated. Potentially you may feel like you've been a little bit betrayed as well. But this is very mental. Maybe you feel like you've self-sabotaged yourself and that you've betrayed yourself in some manner. But you are trying to move forward from it, which is good. Let's get some clarification of that. Five of Swords. Okay, so we've got a Ten of Wands. Now that's in the reverse. So you are part of this conflict, then you're looking at something as being a burden. You are ready to put down that burden, which is a good thing because it has become too heavy. It's a really big burden that you are shouldering at the moment and you want to put it down. The 10 it's a good thing when you're at the 10 because it means that it's ready to be released, but it just suggests to me that you haven't released it just yet. We do have the Chariot. Now that's come out to the side, so it is suggesting to me that your heart and your head may not be fully aligned at the moment, and you are stuck. And it's partly because of this burden and this conflict that you are feeling pretty stuck at the minute. We do have a Three of Swords as well, so you have potentially been in a bit of heartbreak. You may be healing from this as well, but you're very conflicted within your head. It's like you're talking to yourself a lot, and maybe you caused some heartbreak and you feel like the other person's healed and moved on. But this is very much, it's something that's broken your heart, and it's been keeping you stuck. You're having a lot of mental conflict with regards to it, and you're carrying it as a big burden. Whatever conflict it is that you're driving within yourself, you're really carrying it. You might find that your shoulders might be aching quite a lot, and you might not be realising why. You do want successful movement forward. You're not quite sure what success you want though as well. It's like you can't decide what way you want to go. It's with your heart and your head not being fully aligned. It's like your heart wants to pull you in one direction, your head wants to pull you in the other, and it's just keeping you stuck. You haven't quite fully worked out what it is that you want. And it's because of this heartbreak. Now, with you having that Lovers, with a decision that you've made, it could be that you feel that you could have made a wrong decision and it broke your heart to make that decision. And it could be that you may want to re-look at that decision, and that's possibly where your heart and your head's at, because you're potentially thinking, your heart's probably tugging you in one direction, saying either leave it alone or go and revisit, and your head's doing the opposite. So whatever your heart's telling you, your head's saying no, do the opposite. Now, what you need to embrace, or what healing is available, we have a Knight of Swords. Now, this is very much giving a message of truth. Now, whether this is you approaching someone else to give a message of truth, whether it's them approaching you to give some sort of truth and clarity, or whether it's just you giving yourself some sort of clarity and truth. Maybe you haven't looked at the truth of the situation yet, and you haven't worked it out, and this is very much embracing that truth at speed, because the Knight of Swords is somebody that comes in quickly. Like I say, it could be that you need to communicate with someone else. If you feel like you've made a wrong choice, you may need to give an apology to someone. The Knight of Swords is some sort of, like I say, it's some sort of message of communication going in at speed, and it's something to do with the truth. Now, it can be something that's a cutting truth. It could just be that you need to admit it to yourself. Maybe you feel like you've made a wrong choice, or you're at odds with someone, but you haven't seen the truth of the situation behind it yet. I've moved the mic to make myself sound louder, and now I keep knocking it. I know there's a reason why I keep putting it there. Never mind. Right, let's get some clarification with this Knight of Swords. So we have the Seven of Cups that came out first. Now that's in the reverse. So it's suggesting to me that you have potentially explored a lot of options and you've decided that you know what it is that you want. This to me looks like it's you that needs to communicate something. Either that, or you haven't yet worked it out and you're still working out what it is that you want. But this is saying that you've chosen. So it could be that you haven't told yourself the truth that you've chosen yet. We have a King of Wands. So this is somebody that is passionate, somebody that is driven. And he's got a lot of integrity as well. Now, whether this is you, whether this is someone else, it could be that you've chosen a King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands doesn't have to be male as well. Gender is fluid in tarot. So it could be very much a feminine with this kind of passionate, driven temperament. It could just be that you have decided that you want to do that you want to be somebody that's passionate, maybe that you've driven, you want to have integrity, you want to embody all of the King of Wands kind of energies, that loyalty, the passion, the charisma. I mean, he is very much Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, so he's very much the fire energy. So this could, like I said, this is very much potentially you. You just need to embrace that energy for yourself. And then we have the Fool that's come out to the side. So this is very much you hesitating. So this is things that, this is the help that's available for you. I mean, this could be somebody that you get advice from. But I think it's more of you embodying the King of Wands and going towards something that you're passionate about. Now, the Fool is very much you hesitating and try again. When it's in the upright, the Fool is following his heart, and that's him following his head. It's to the side, so it's picking a route, deciding what it is that you want and going for it. So this very much seems like it's you finding out your truth. What direction do you want to go? Working out whether you want to listen to your heart or whether you want to listen to your head. and making that decision and going forward with that decision, because it's very much this energy of not knowing whether to follow your heart or whether to follow your head that is causing you issues. So it is deciding, you know, what is it that you want long term? What is it that is good for you? And going for it. Is your heart right or is your head right? What is it long term that's going to be better for you? Now, in what challenges you're going to face while you're going through this is a lack of faith that you've made the right decision. We've got the Temperance in the reverse. That's telling me that you're going to be lacking the faith in it. You're going to be feeling like you've still not made the right decision. You are going to be second guessing things. You're out of balance. You don't feel like you're healed fully from the situation. It could very well be that you are definitely second guessing. It could be that maybe you make a decision and you don't have the faith that the decision's going to be, you know, if you go charging towards it. So say for instance, this is a job that you want and you decide that you're going to go and charge towards a new job, because this King of Wands is very much, he's a brilliant leader. So maybe you're looking at something in the leadership role and you decide that you want a new job. This could very well be that you don't feel like you've got the skills. You don't feel like it's going to come to fruition for you. You know, you don't have the faith to follow it through. You don't have the faith that it's going to happen. You don't think that you'll get that job that you want. If it's a relationship, it could be that you don't feel like you're going to have that relationship you want. It's very much you lacking faith. Let's get clarification with the Temperance. It's you losing hope as well. It's like hope. You feel like the situation's hopeless. So we have a Five of Pentacles. So potentially you felt like you might have felt like you've been abandoned. You may be feeling very lonely, very isolated. It could be that you may have abandoned someone else and that's why you feel like it's hopeless, because you feel like, you know, nothing's going to get any better. You could be also feeling like you have no social life, no social circle. You've got no one to turn to and you don't know whether or not it's going to be working out for you. Now, one thing I will say with this is it is all in your head. It is a state of mind. If you have a look, he's sitting there, he needs some help. There is a medical room just there on that Five of Pentacles. All he has to do is walk through that door, but he's just sitting there. So it's very much an energy of feeling abandoned, feeling stuck, feeling like you haven't got anything, but you've put yourself there. You know, you're not doing anything to get yourself out of that situation. We do have a Six of Wands as well. Now, the Six of Wands is very much suggesting that you want success. You do want to be acknowledged for what you've been doing. So again, if this is work related, you want to have the acknowledgement for the work that you've been putting in, for the work that you have been doing. But you also need to be wary that this can also be about popularity, because the Six of Wands, it can be very much about the popular side of things. So yes, success and, you know, being recognised for what you want can be a challenge sometimes, especially if you're not being recognised, but it could also just be the popularity side of things. So if you are very successful, it generally means that you're quite popular. If you are popular, it could mean that you, especially in a work environment, you could end up getting more work piled on top of you. In relationship environments, if you're very popular, it could, you know, cause friction with potential partners because of potential popularity that's there, especially if you're a very confident, outgoing, charismatic type of person, which the King of Wands is. So certain popularity issues could be a big challenge, especially when you always find that with people in the centre of attention, people that have got a lot of popularity, not only do you have the fans, but you also have the haters, people that will spread gossip and rumours and things like that. So that is something that can also become a big challenge from having popularity and having that success and being in the centre of attention. We do have a page of wands that came out to the side. So that is suggesting that you do want to communicate. Potentially you would like to move, but you are feeling a little bit stuck. So maybe you're not able to move at this point in time. It's suggesting that you may also have a bit of a gift that you want to give someone. If you have a look, this page of wands has very much got a gift behind his back. He's trying to keep it a secret, but you might be worried about how that gift might be received as well. But the page of wands is very much movement, maybe going on holiday, going away for a weekend, just moving in general. So it could be that you want to move in with someone, maybe you want to move away. Maybe you have moved away from someone and that is causing you a big challenge at the moment. But the distance or the prospect of movement it's challenging. I mean, you want the Chariot here as well is very much forward movement and can be physical movement. Yes, it's going with your heart and your head, but you know, in the upright you tend to have your heart and your head pulling you forward. There's generally not a driver. I mean, this particular Chariot, he's in a big car, he's got a lot of success, he's very popular, he's got a chauffeur. In most Chariots you tend to have two griffins pulling it forward and there's no reins, so it symbolises the heart and the head driving it. But yeah, very much potentially wanting to move somewhere but stuck. You're not going anywhere at this point in time, and again, distance could be an issue. Now, what you need to embrace, we have a Page of Pentacles and that's come out to the side. So this is something that could be a new start and is stable, but it's a challenging new start. It's suggesting that there's things that may need to be learned. The Page of Pentacles is very much a student and he's learning things. So this could be very much that there's certain things about this new start that you still need to learn, and it could be that it's a bit of a challenge for you to learn them. Maybe you've got how do we put it? If it's something where it's a new job, for instance, maybe you've got certain things that will, maybe you learn in a certain particular type of way. And the way that you're being taught isn't the way that you would learn. You know, that could be a bit of a challenge for you. It could be that what you need to learn is hard. It could be anything from communication. It could be things to do with yourself. It could be that there are certain skills that you need to learn in order to move forward. But those skills are going to be challenging for you to learn. But it is very much that you need to embrace that it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Now we do also have the Lovers. So this is very much making that choice. Now this very much suggests to me that you are going to have to embrace some sort of learning for something to do with possibly love, and the reason I'll clarify why in a minute. So the Lovers is very much making a choice for the best for you. So this particular Lovers, he's got a choice of two women. That one's got a choice of two women. Maybe the wrong woman was chose before. Obviously doesn't have to be a woman, can be a man. And this is very much making the choice for yourself, making sure that you make the right choice, having that happy union. We do have a 10 of Cups in the reverse. So embracing that a union isn't happy as well, which is weird. And then we have the Hierophant in the reverse. which is very much, it can be a card of divorce, it can be a card of a relationship breaking down, it can be a card of losing faith in higher commitment. And this is why I'm suggesting it could be very much that there's certain things you need to learn about love, potentially communication within love, how you communicate, how you put yourself across. In order to move forward, embrace that certain things have ended and make a better decision going forward. This Hierophant is very much telling me that you could be changing your views on certain things. Possibly you're changing your view on whether or not you made the wrong decision. It could be that you may be changing your view on a particular decision that you've made in the past. Maybe that's why you've got this Lovers here as well. It could be that you need to try not to have blind faith that things are, how to put it, when he's in the upright, it's very much having that faith that things are going to go. But it can be somebody that abuses the position. It's trying to not have blind faith that things are going to work out as you want them, when you want them to, kind of thing. It's being willing to understand that there are new ways and new approaches, you know, changing that view. If you've had poor counselling in the past, maybe somebody gave you wrong advice, it's suggesting that, you know, that you've understood that you've had wrong advice given to you, so you can get past that wrong advice. That 10 of Cups, you know, in the reversed, it's suggesting to me that there is conflict, you know. There's a sense of despair, potentially broken family dynamics. There's a lack of harmony or fulfillment in your personal relationships. Now, I'm assuming that that's because you feel like you've made the wrong choice, but a lot of it looks as though it's down to the fact that you've still got lessons to learn. Maybe you've listened to people in the past, let them lead you astray, and it's led to this conflict that you've got. Maybe you've let people tell you what to do. You know, people, let's face it, a lot of the time you get advice from certain people, especially if it's friends or family members, that will tell you things in their best interests. Sometimes people don't have your best interests at heart, and they will give you advice based on what they would do, on their interests, their personal perspective. But they also may have a twisted perspective on a person themselves. They could be doing things and giving you advice based on a selfish perspective. For instance, if you've gone to a female co-worker, or, you know, if you've gone to a male co-worker at work and they don't like your spouse and they've given you advice with regards to that, you know, then they're probably not giving you the best advice. They may not even know your spouse. They might just be somebody that maybe they've got a crush on you and they would like you to be freed up. Maybe they've got alternative motives that you're not aware of, and they've given you some poor counselling. It is also suggesting to me with this 10 of Cups that there are underlying issues that you need to work on in order to create a more harmonious and fulfilling environment. Now, it does suggest to me that this is something that you're going to be embracing, working on it, learning new skills to make this environment more harmonious. Very much making that choice towards the person that you want to have that long-term happy with. If it is love, like I say, it could just be a job. It's making a choice based on something that you feel is going to be beneficial to you, and working on it to make sure that you get that harmonious outcome that you want, but not listening to other people, doing it yourself, making sure that you are doing what you want. The Hierophant as well can be very much, in the upright, is doing things conventionally. This is unconventional. So this could very much be anything that's unconventional in relationships, in work. It's finding your own way, not doing the same as everybody else. So if, for instance, you are somebody that, I don't know, maybe you've made a decision about something, maybe you've decided that you've made the wrong choice. You want to go and reconnect with somebody, but you feel that it's all hopeless because it's too late. There's been too much damage. And other people might be saying, just leave it alone, leave it alone. It's already happened. You've been through it. Leave it where it is. It's dead in the water. Maybe you've had a divorce. An unconventional thing would be to get back together with somebody that you've had a divorce from, Obviously, it doesn't have to be anything like that. But it's very much ignoring the social norms and finding your own way. Ignoring people. Not so much ignoring people, but not listening to the advice of others, listening to your own advice, following what it is that you want to do. But like I say, very much learning new skills so that you can have the harmonious outcome that you desire. Because it does suggest to me that you do want, harmony. You want a union that's going to be happy and emotionally fulfilling. But in order to get that, you need to learn some skills. You need to address certain issues. And that could very much be where this truth is coming in as well. And it's embracing that you've got things that you need to work on in order to address those issues. Embracing that there is a need to gain some new skills, even if they're uncomfortable and hard. You need to do the learning in order to move forward, so that you don't end up listening to people that are not going to give you the best advice in the world, so that you don't get led astray, so that you don't have the blind faith that people are telling you what's right for you. You're making your own decisions then. You're not letting other people determine your decisions. At the end of the day, we've all got free will. We do what we want. But this is suggesting to me that you may have blindly followed advice of people and not really thought about what it was going to do. And that could be why you feel like you've made the wrong choice, because you've listened to other people instead of making that decision on your own. But this is very much you definitely learning skills so that you can make the right choices going forward in future, so that you can have a happy, fulfilling, even if it is an unconventional relationship. Like I say, it doesn't have to be relationship-wise. It could be work-wise. This could be all to do with a job. It could just be to do with you having an unconventional life, doing things differently to everybody else, but choosing what's best for you, not having other people put in what's best for you, and then making sure that you're living harmoniously because you've learnt these new skills. Right, we'll get you an Angel of Light card next, and then we'll get you some luminous pathways to see if there's any more messages that Spirit want to give. Abundance. It is time for your life to flow with prosperity, love and success. You draw from the limitless universal pool according to your belief in how much you deserve. Angel wisdom is reminding you now to believe in yourself and trust that you deserve more. Then you will attract abundance and the true riches of life. So basically, if you're telling yourself that you don't deserve anything and you're not worth anything, you won't get anything. If you tell yourself that you are worth everything, you are worth more, and you deserve more, then you will start getting more, okay? So make sure you have got that self-confidence. To feel surrounded by love, open your heart to others. Choose to do what fulfills you most, and the angels will bring you joy, satisfaction, and success. Enhance your prosperity by receiving graciously, giving out willingly, and saying thank you for everything. Enjoy all you have, and more will come to you. Your affirmation: I deserve love, prosperity, and success. So if you're not somebody that's used to saying thank you when things are done for you, make sure you're saying thank you. And make sure that you give out as well as receiving, okay? And it will help to enhance your prosperity. Okay, well, let's get you in luminous pathways. This is a new deck I bought. I thought it was going to be significantly bigger. The box is huge and the cards are tiny. Never mind. They are very pretty. We can get some luminous pathways, please, Spirit, for Leo. Okay, so we've got the Rainbow Bridge, the Falcon's Flight, and the Candle's Flame. Okay, let me get the book for those. It's not in alphabetical order, so do bear with me. I've not quite learnt them all yet. Okay, so the candle's flame symbolises hope, illumination and guidance. It is a beacon in the dark, guiding you through uncertainty and illuminating your path. Which definitely sounds like you need it, especially if you are feeling that temperance in the reverse in your challenge position. The Falcon's Flight represents perspective, freedom and aspirations. It encourages you to rise above your current perspective, seek freedom and aim for your highest aspirations. Now that very much suggests to me that Knight of Wands there. And then the Rainbow Bridge symbolises connection, hope and promise. It represents the bridging of gaps, whether emotional, spiritual or physical, and the promise of better times. So very much seems like that movement as well. You know, that Page of Wands, bridging gaps, moving towards things, better times ahead. Right, I hope you enjoyed your reading today, Leo. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. Good luck and thank you very much for joining me.